Hello everyone. Today we'll start with the book The Power of One Thought. Om Shanti, greetings of peace. Visualize waking up tomorrow morning and going about the entire day absolutely happy with everything, with yourself, your family, your home, your career, your social circle, your city, your world. You find several imperfections in them, but you remain calm and contented. How different will your tomorrow be from today? Everything you do in life has an underpinned pursuit of feeling peace, love, and happiness. But today, despite working hard, these emotions seem elusive. Now you feel nice, the next moment you do not. Most of us ride an emotional roller coaster from time to time, but we refuse to take responsibility for our emotions. We find it easier to blame the world for how we feel and hence say life is a roller coaster. Your world is not somewhere out there. It starts from within your mind. Your mind creates thoughts, which in turn create your feelings and emotions. This book nudges and reconnects you to the source of emotions, your thoughts. Embark on this inner journey to learn the intricate workings and powers of your mind. Learn to channelize it so that you can shift from impulsive reactions to choosing the right response in every scene of life. Unlock your potential to think right and remain calm. No matter what situation you are in, how long will you need to empower and transform yourself? Choosing the right response is a gradual process requiring attention and awareness. One day, you may accept people easily, forgive their mistakes, and let go. The next day, you might unintentionally slip back into the earlier reaction of retaliating angrily. Ensure that you do not create guilt or criticize yourself. Even if people around you start judging you for faltering, do not suspect your progress. You alone will know how far you have come, so appreciate your journey for the small and big changes you brought about. Transformation may happen in small steps, but that is a huge achievement. By creating a change in how you respond, you contribute to changing the world. Each time you shift from ego to humility, stress to calm, anger to compassion, hurt to forgiveness, worry to care, expectations to acceptance, holding on to letting go, guilt to realization to acceptance, hold comparison to self respect, competition to cooperation, attachment to love, not only you change, your world changes. When you change, the world changes. Be the change to begin the change. Chapter 1. Ready to set yourself free? Let us begin with a short story, the tale of a little eaglet which was perched on a tree branch, its curling talons firmly gripping the wood. A boy passing by saw it desperately flapping its wings to fly but failing. There was more than enough momentum for the bird to move through the air and fly, but it just did not take off. After a few minutes, it finally gave up. The boy went closer and asked the exhausted eaglet what had happened. The bird mumbled, I tried so hard to fly, but this branch is holding me back. It is not letting me go. The startled boy pointed out, what are you saying? The branch is not holding you. It is you who has clutched onto it. Just let go of the branch and you will easily fly. Many of us are familiar with the story. Oftentimes, our own life experiences resonate with it. Within us, we have all the emotions we wish to feel: peace, happiness, kindness, and contentment. So we are free to experience them at every moment. But somehow, we seem to be oblivious of this freedom. We chase after these emotions and often feel that something holds us back from accessing these. And how, and much like the eaglet, we we remain emotionally stuck and become disheartened. If peace, happiness, kindness, and contentment are our inherent qualities today, let us take a moment to ask ourselves: I can be calm in a crisis. Why do I panic and get stressed? I can be happy even when I don't get what I want. Why do I feel so upset? I can be kind when someone makes a mistake. Why do I get so angry? I can be contented with my life. Why do I feel so dissatisfied? Why are we unable to regulate our emotions when it matters the most? What is this emotional bondage we are not letting go of? Depriving ourselves of the very happiness we seek. Let us first recognize the emotional bondage. Thereafter, we shall work on setting ourselves free. Recall the time when you last felt angry at someone. You had believed your anger was completely justified and natural, as the other person was clearly wrong. Now, reflect closely. Could you have responded another way? Replay the entire scene on the screen of your mind. It is the same situation and the other person commits the same mistake. Bring the focus on you now and visualize yourself choosing a right response, an emotionally healthy response. What would it be? What will your thoughts be? How will you speak? How will your tone be? What will your body language be? You might have visualized yourself being peaceful and stable. You do not lose self control this time. You remain assertive, not angry. Your words are reformative, not accusatory. Your stability empowers the other person to realize his mistake and change. But when the incident had occurred in the past, why had you reacted impulsively? What was holding you back from adopting peace then? It was your emotional dependency. It was your belief that your response depended on the situation and on people's behavior, and not on you. You had believed you did not have the choice to respond any other way. When you had justified anger, perhaps other people present on the scene had endorsed your reactive behavior as natural and normal. It has been deeply embedded in our minds that our emotions and behavior depend on situations and other people. This dependency is akin to the eaglet believing that the branch was holding it, and hence it did not have the choice of flying away. But when you reflect on the scene now, in retrospect, you can see that you are not emotionally dependent and that you have the choice of responding differently. This wisdom is akin to the eaglet realizing that the branch was not holding it back and it could fly. No matter how deeply we believe that we are dependent on external factors, the truth is that we have complete freedom to choose our response. This is called emotional independence. Emotional dependency. Is it bad for you? Some of us might wonder if it will make any difference whether we are dependent or independent. After all, we have lived with dependency for years, but it does make a vast difference. Unfortunately, the seeds of emotional dependence were sown quite early on in our lives. Recall the school essays you wrote about the happiest day of your life. You might have written about a birthday party, a vacation, or an award you received. This means that right from childhood, we permitted ourselves to feel happy only when a pleasant event occurred, and we were led to believe it was natural to feel unhappy or upset when things were not favorable. Scenes come and go, whether it is something that happened today or a memory from a year ago. In retrospect, we often regret. I should not have reacted that way. I should have handled it differently. I could have kept quiet and let go of what happened. Why did I worry so much? Everything turned out fine in the end. As we move forward, we realize that there was another way to respond to the given person or situation. We did not choose a response, but were only reacting based on the situation or the people involved. There are two worlds we live in: an outer world and an inner world. The outer world comprises situations, people and their behavior, relationships, work, material possessions, natural resources, and even our body or physical health. The inner world comprises thoughts, feelings, intentions, and memories. Today, we want situations to be perfect for us to be happy, calm, and stable. So, we are waiting for the outside world to become perfect so that our inner world can be perfect too. Think about this. Back in the day, we were able to live reasonably happily even with dependencies, as the outer world was more or less predictable. There was an element of certainty in health, in relationships, in the economy, in the average lifespan, and so on. We did experience tension once in a while, but overcame it easily. In the last 2 decades, we have witnessed enormous uncertainty in the outer world. The changes have been rapid and drastic. This means situations outside are uncertain. By making our state of mind dependent on them, our reactions have also become uncertain. Since both outer and inner worlds have become uncertain, we are often left feeling powerless, helpless, anxious, insecure, and fearful. This is why stress has become the norm. Depression and anxiety are common. Diabetes is rampant. Cancer is on the rise. Divorce seems an easier option. It's a long list. Given these circumstances, we have two options. Option 1. We create an outer world which functions completely the way we want, and then we let the inner world be dependent on it. We want, we create an outer world which functions completely the way we want, and then we let the inner world be dependent on it. When the outer world becomes perfect, we will experience lasting happiness and health. Option 2. We realize that our inner world is independent of the outer world. We start creating certainty and stability in our responses to the uncertainties of the outer world. With this option, we will naturally remain happy and healthy. Option 1 seems impossible since the outer world of people and situations does not always function the way we want. But option 2 is completely achievable. Therefore, the time has come for us to bring the inner world under our control so that no matter what situation comes up suddenly from the outer world, it could be that someone betrays us or behaves badly, or our business crashes, our body develops an illness, or we lose a family member, we still have the ability to remain emotionally stable and respond in the right way. The word responsibility can be broken down into response and ability, signifying our ability to respond to every scene. If we create a list of our responsibilities, it would include aspects like family, home, career, finances, achievements, and so on. Today, let us add our own names right on top of that list, since our emotional state is our first responsibility in every scene of life. Emotional independence, what is it all about? The word independence says it all. Consider in and in Consider in and dependence. In means inside. What is inside? Either being the energy, we can call it light, consciousness, power, spirit, or soul. I'm dependent only on the one inside, which means on the self, myself. I'm dependent only on myself, but if I keep pointing at someone else, then I'm not independent. Instead, I'm out dependent. Independence means to be dependent only on the one inside. Scenes are only a stimulus, and we always have the choice of response. Till we experience the emotional independence of choosing our right response consciously, we'll not be able to experience the happiness, peace, calmness, and contentment that we are all looking for. Ask yourself, what am I ready to do to give myself emotional independence? For now, take note of the words emotional dependence and be prepared to get rid of them soon. This book is a journey to liberate you from all forms of emotional dependencies. As you progress through the chapters and internalize the content, you will move closer to the freedom that you deserve. It all begins with your thoughts. Every scene in our life demands a response. Our very first response is always a thought, followed by a feeling. Some responses are only internal, such as thoughts and feelings. At other times, our thoughts are translated into words and behaviors as well. But it all happens so fast that we are not even aware that we first created a thought which then manifested as our words and behaviors. The origin of our behavioral responses lies in the most basic of our internal responses, our thoughts. Our thoughts create our feelings, words, and behavior in that order. If we take care of our thoughts, we'll not need to be careful with our words and behaviors. Right thoughts will always create the right response. Sometimes we create thoughts of irritation, impatience, hurt, or jealousy, but we manage to speak sweetly. Let us master the art of creating the right thoughts in response to every scene. Will not then not will then not find the need to suppress our thoughts or hide our feelings. This brings transparency, authenticity, and integrity. Don't we all appreciate it when people are authentic, speaking what they think and doing what they say? Get off the emotional roller coaster. Let us do a simple activity. Run through these sample scenarios and responses in your mind. Check if this is how you respond when things go right and even when they do not. You wake up in the morning feeling fresh and relaxed. You get ready to leave, but your breakfast is delayed by 15 minutes and it is not to your taste. You eat hurriedly while angrily giving the cook an earful. You leave for office in a bad mood. You get caught in traffic and feel anxious about making it to a meeting on time. You politely excuse yourself into the meeting that is already underway. Your boss heaps praises on your colleague and overlooks your efforts. He even gives you additional responsibilities, somewhat oblivious to the fact that you're already going the extra mile. You want to scream in frustration. Throughout the day, you sulk about the unappreciative boss and unreasonable workload. You have to stay back late to complete the day's task. You message your spouse that you will reach home late. She does not reply. You carry your pent up frustration back home. Your wife complains that your daughter has been throwing tantrums since the evening. Losing your temper, you scold both of them. You watch a tennis match on TV and your favorite player wins. You feel elated. Before going to bed, you scroll through social media. Your latest post has over 100 likes. That makes you smile. Reflect on the responses above: being furious at the cook, critical of the traffic, resentful of the boss, disgruntled at work, irritated about spouse's silence, annoyed with the child, happy for the player who won, and pleased about the validation on social media. Can you see a clear pattern of looking at other people's behavior or at external situations and reacting on them? A reaction is automated where we act without pausing to choose how to be. A response is where we consciously choose how to be. When we choose a response, we do not get swayed by the quality of the situation. The ripple effect of our impulsive reactions in the chain of daily events is also noteworthy. The mood created in one scene, if not corrected, is more likely to get carried forward into the next. Suppose we face a situation with anger. There is a high possibility that a slight trigger in the next incident will again push us to react angrily. Unless we consciously choose a different response, like peace or calmness, our angry reaction is likely to spill into the next scene, and the next, and so on. Soon, anger becomes an automated reaction as we go through the day, complaining about and blaming the things that don't go our way. Usually, when it comes to making big impact choices like selecting a degree, career, life partner, or investments, we take the time to respond. We first introspect, identify all the options, weigh their pros and cons, and then choose. But in everyday life, we mostly react to scenes in impulsive ways. Making a conscious effort to choose a response takes only a few days of attention and awareness. Thereafter, we get used to responding the right way in every scene. If we ask ourselves what do we desire the most in life, the most common answers would be love, happiness, peace, and power. What we want to experience is what we need to create in response to every scene. For only when we create it can we experience it and radiate it into the world. This is our power and potential. But if we keep blaming circumstances, saying, he avoided me, though he knew I was there, how could he do that? she was rude to me, no one cares for me, or why is the weather so bad today? Then, with each thought, we are drifting away from the very happiness and peace we see. No one cares for me, or why is the weather so bad today? Then with each thought, we are drifting away from the very happiness and peace we see.